So, Divergent trailer, it's really good. Really liked it. Let's go over it piece by piece. Alright, so we start off with just this gorgeous shot of just beautiful, like this. If I had never heard of these books, if I didn't know what I was watching, and I saw this opening shot, I'd be all over this. I don't even care what comes next. This shot has me sold. Like, it's really pretty. And then from there, we get to cutting Triss's hair and putting it in a little abnegation bun, and you're just like, alright, okay, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And then we get Triss's mom talking with her. Mild Allegiance spoilers, maybe? Once you know what you know about Triss's mom, how she came, she said she's terrified of her destiny, and you know, after finishing Allegiant, all that she did to be where she was. Even if you just read the first book and know that her mom was dauntless and then went to abnegation, you know it was a big deal. Right in that you kind of get Triss's mom and the character, and then Triss, kind of, it's good. I like it. And then beautiful city, you kind of see, alright, it looks like a city, it looks all modern, but then not quite like it does. It looks a little bit run down. So you can see the Ferris wheel! It's right there. I really like that they include the Ferris wheel there. They use it a few times in here, and it makes me really happy because of Fortress reasons. Okay. And then you get Janine Matthews talking, and you're like, she just looks official. And then you see them all lined up, and you can tell that they're in different factions. You can see the different colors. There's blue, and then gray, and then white, and then all the colors. You see that there's separation without someone telling you, yo, there's some separation, different factions here. You see that, you know. If I'm someone who's never read the book before, I can see the differences. And me, having read the book, I can really appreciate those differences because it looks good. It's great. And then you see the Dauntless jumping out of the train. Just, wow. It looks good. It's a little different than what was going on up here. But it's not so different that it's bad. It's different good. It's better than what I pictured, because what do I know about trains? I live in the suburbs. And then you kind of see Triss watching them, and she kind of has this look in her eyes like, hey, it's pretty cool. Of course, they're dressed differently, so you can tell. And then there's little Triss sitting with her family, and then her mom takes her hand, and if you look around, no one else is really being affectionate, but her mom does that, holds her hand, comforts her, you know. It's like her mom really understands it. And then you get little Ansel Elgort sitting there looking all Caleb-y. I see you! I see you! This faction test thing, it looks good. It's all like sterile. There's a little monitor. It looks high tech. It looks pretty legit. And then she drinks something, and then it like, and you're just kind of like, whoa. You kind of look at it from the two different perspectives. From the perspective of someone who's read the books, you're like, alright, I know it's happening, like, this is it. You're really excited for this. And then if you're someone who hasn't read the books, you're like, what? Takes your attention. It got you. It got you. And then you get the water filling up. This isn't faction test, but I don't know if they're making this the faction test, but that's Triss's fear landscape. So I don't know if they're just showing her fear landscape because it's cooler than the test, but it looks good, and then this isn't real. That's a cool shot. And then it explodes, and then she wakes up, which is so cool. Like, wow. And then she's warning, and then you're like, oh, this isn't good. Like, you think it's a good thing, but it's not good. It's not. This does a really good job of kind of explaining what it's going to be about, what the book is going to be about. And I'm really impressed by all the acting ability that we see in here. This is good. And then they're always watching, and then you see Janine Matthews go by and like looking at Triss. She knows. She's a little... Yes. Yes. And then she just jumps off a boat, which I didn't really think about it, but I guess if you haven't read the books, you're just kind of like, why is this freak jumping off a building? Like, is she trying to kill herself because she can't live with the Divergents? We know, and it looks awesome the way she jumps, and then she gets caught, and then, boom! 4! Yeah! That's a good character introduction. Welcome to Dauntless. I start, like, greeting people with that, like, come over, welcome to Dauntless. It's gonna be a thing. Good job, Theo James, A+. And you see this gun and all these crazy weapons, and you're like, why are you giving this little girl a weapon? She's like tiny, she's tiny little Triss. People who have not read these books probably think this is a little bit crazy. Then you see them beating up Triss, and you're like, Triss! It looks good. It's pretty legit. It's true to the book, I think. And he's like helping her train, and you're like, OTP feels. And then you get him throwing the knives at her, and I guess people who don't know the books, again, are going to be a little confused here. So I'm so proud of, like, she looks good. She's doing a good job about looking like she's about to cry, but holding it in, and then it gets her ear, and I gotta say, from the still, I really wasn't sold on this scene. I really didn't know if it looked right to me. But watching it go in action, it looks right. It looks good. It looks really good. And then you made a mistake choosing Dauntless, and then you're like, what? She made a mistake! She's gonna die in this scary training place with the knives! Then he knows what you are, and then it's just Fortress feels like the rest of the way through. It's beautiful. It's not like overly romantic with it, you know, it's like they're buddies, they're friends, and they're gonna fight together. Yeah! And his tattoos are just perfect. I love how they did his tattoos. It's really intense. I like how they play up the action a lot. Like, I have some of the romance, but it's more action, and it's Triss isn't played off as this little girl who needs the boy to save her. She is fighting, you know. She's learning from Four because he's her mentor, but she's learning, and she's doing, and she's fighting by herself, and I'm really happy that they didn't focus it on the romance, because they do have a lot for Triss, but it's more of a, like, productive relationship. Like, they're learning from each other, using each other, and they're going to fight together. It's not all, oh no, my boyfriend, he's gotta save me. They do a good job with this. Triss is not a damsel in distress. Ferris wheel. And then you got Forest Fear Landscape. That hurts. It really does. Poor Four, and you know what he goes through. You just, it's just really good, and their little end thing is good, and everything is good about this trailer. I don't have any major complaints with it other than, you know, the testing wasn't exactly, I thought. It was her landscape. I don't know how they're going to work that all together, but it was good. This trailer is so good. Like, I was excited for this movie. I knew I was excited for this movie. There are a few little things, like, first, I wasn't sure if Theo James was Four. I wasn't sure if it was, like, in my mind, if that was gonna work. But, and, like, seeing the pictures of him, I was like, I guess he kind of looked like Four. I was getting used to the idea of him as Four. But then, in this trailer, he acts like Four. Like, he gets Four. And I guess that's what happens when you start to judge an actor on how he can play a character. When you actually see it in action, I'm really glad I decided just to not write him off, because, wow, this looks, he's been growing on me more with every still, I guess, starting to get used to it, but this, just watching it, he is Four. I feel like he gets Four, and he is Four, and that was the only character that I was really unsure if it was cast right, but I should have trusted the casting directors, because Theo James is Four. That's what I think. It was really good. So, good job, Divergent cast and crew. I can't wait for this movie. I can't wait. Da, da, da.